everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Thought I'd shoot another video today. Finally got a little bit warm enough so that I could actually shoot one. It's been kind of chilly outside with the wind for me. We've had some warmth during the day, but sometimes my family keeps me pretty busy in the middle of the day. So anyhow, let's work on thighs today. I'm going to start with a little centering. Take a few deep inhales and exhales. Okay, let's start by doing a little bit of fire breath. So I want you to think of your core. I want you to take a deep inhale and then push that air out quickly. Another deep inhale. Quick breaths out. Another deep inhale. Quick breaths out. Deep inhale. Quick exhale. One more time. And breathe freely. Inhale. Exhale. Notice how that heated up the body, heated up the core. Now deep inhale, bring the hands up. Place the thumbs at the third eye. Make an intention for your practice today. Exhale down, bringing the thumbs to heart center. Lower that logical mind toward the caring heart to seal that intention or that dedication you made possibly. And open your eyes, bring your gaze back to the front. Okay, since we're doing thighs, I also want to kind of warm up all the muscles around it. So we're going to start with a little bit of our Sufi rolls. So we're going to inhale, lift the chest, bring it forward, exhale around. And this is mainly to wake up the back and the hips. You may hear things in the background of this video. I have neighbors, they are working out in their yards right now, trying to find ways to keep their mind busy during this quarantine time. And of course you'll always hear my animals, my dogs moving around, playing. And then go back the other direction. Back to center. Now let's take and bring our legs around and back. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. I think Luna is underneath my yoga deck right now. My little yoga hut. I don't know what she's doing. You'll hear a little yelp every now and then. Okay, so I just placed a blanket under my knees just for comfort, and I also like to flex my feet for my knees because I have a little bit of a knee problem. But you don't have to do that. You can keep the tops of your feet down if you want. Okay, let's work a little bit with some of our beam or gate poses. So let's start by bringing let's start with actually our bird dog and then go into gate. Sorry, got distracted again. Bring the right leg back and the left arm up into bird dog. And if you can't tell what that is with the position I'm in, I'm going to turn to the side so you can see it a little bit better. So that's right leg back, left arm out into bird dog. Okay. Now let's take and move the arm and the leg to the side and then back to the front. Just gonna play with your balance a little bit. And then lower it down. I'm going to switch sides. One side to front or back to front with the leg. Side to back with the leg, I mean. Always distractions out here. One more time. Bring it back to center. All right. Then we're going to take and bring ourselves back to bird dog with the right leg out, left arm, and then we're going to bring it to the side, but this time we're going to place the foot down and we're going to bring that hand down, and we're going to do a few cat-cows here. So we're going to lift our chest, kind of arch the back, exhale, round the back, pull the chin down toward the chest, go back and forth a few times. Anytime I'm working on legs, I like to wake the hips up just a little bit before I get started. Sometimes I get stiff in the hips now that I'm getting older. All right, come to a neutral position, and let's come up. Inhale, and as we exhale, come into our beam or our gate pose and open up the side body a little bit. Keep sliding down the leg as the body allows you to. Bring it back up. And then we're going to switch to the other side. So bring that leg out and then back into the back and lower the knee. Bringing your left leg out. Right arm, slide it to the side, lower the foot, lower the hand. Give me a little cat-cow. Remember to breathe. We're always inhaling as we're opening the chest and lifting the head. Exhaling as we're rounding the back, pulling the belly button in. One more time. Come to a neutral position, and then we're going to lift our torso up. As we exhale, we're going to come down that leg. And then bring it back up. Lower it back down and bring that leg in. Okay, so let's take it to our down dog position. Pushing up to the ball of the feet. Hips go up and back. Walk the dog a little bit. And again, if you're not sure what I'm doing, I will turn to the side. Give you an idea of what that looks like. Walking the dog. And then lift up onto those tippy toes. lower the heels down, push the head down between the arms, stretch the back a little bit. All right, now let's take and bend the knees. We're gonna come in kind of sideways. So we gotta kind of pivot on the ball of the foot, lift back up, pivot on the foot. Now I'm sliding around, so I'm gonna come back to a front view here. One more time. Come back to center. Walk those feet in. Bend the knees. Preset the hip. Inhale to a flat back a second. Hey guys. Exhale down. Inhale, roll up. Roll the shoulders back and down a few times. Release some of that stress. Now let's inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Now, let's start moving a little bit deeper into our sun salutations. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Step the feet back to a plank position. That's like a top of a push-up. Now, if you want to do modified, you go down on the knees. But here's the thing. I don't want all fours. I want a plank. So slightly lift the toes up. Make sure you can get a line from your hip crease down to your knees. All right? So you're holding the weight a little bit. All right? Now from there, lower yourself down to the floor. Flatten the tops of the feet. Tuck those elbows in, roll the shoulders back and down, and come to like a baby cobra. So it's like a half cobra. I can actually lift my hands here, and I've just got my chest lifted off the floor. Exhale down. Curl the toes under, push back to down dog. Step or walk up to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now, let's take it a little bit deeper. Keep it warm. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Step back to plank. Lower all the way to the floor. Flatten the feet. Come to a full cobra. Pushing a little bit through the arms. Okay. Come back down. Curl the toes under. Push back to down dog. Step to the top of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. This time, step or jump back to your plank, okay? You want to look forward, have the knees bent, put your hands down, and push your weight back. Lower down, chaturanga. Up dog, so the thighs are hovering here. Push back to down dog. Now, let's take and extend our right leg up, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hip. Now, some of you can do wild thing, some of you can't. But if you can, going into wild thing, you're gonna come all the way over and push up, okay, with the hips. Push back over, come back to three-legged dog. All right. Then if you want to play with the balance, bring the knee in, extend the leg out. Come back to your down dog. Okay, let's go three-legged dog, right leg again. Pull that leg forward around the back. Place that foot to the top of the mat. Turn that back foot. Give me warrior two. Okay. Let's take in reverse warrior. Arch the back. Exhale, extended side angle. Reach as far as you can. Inhale, warrior two. Okay. Let's take and open up into half moon. So if we're gonna do half moon, we might need a block. So I'm gonna come off the mat for just a second. Grab a block to give you some transitions here. Make sure you're at the back of your mat. Warrior two stance. Bring the block to the front of the foot. Now that block can be as tall as position 3, or you can have it at position 2 or position 1 if you only need a little bit of help. Okay, any of these do. I'm going to show you position 2, so that's the average. You're going to push your weight forward so that you got your weight over this front foot. Move that block out. Start to lift that back foot to get your balance. Now, if you don't have your balance, you come back down. But if you do, you slowly start to open up your stance. Into half moon. All right. Now bend the front knee to come back down. Come back into warrior two. And we're going to come down to the mat, just to transition, but you don't have to. You can just step up and switch sides. All right, so we'd bring that front foot back to down dog. We're going to extend left leg up, bend the knee, open the hip. Let's go into wild thing. Back into warrior three. Bring it down to readjust your down dog for a second. Inhale to three-legged dog again. Bend the knee and bring it forward. Flip that back foot. Warrior two. Reverse warrior. Extended side angle. Back to warrior two. And then again, if you need a block, you would place that in front of your foot. I'm going to do it without a block this time. Bringing the hand down in front of the foot. Push the weight up to that front leg. Move your hand out a little bit. Lift that back foot. Start to open up into your half moon. Bend the front knee to release. Back to warrior two. Come down to transition, or just step together and then step back into a different stance. So I'm going to go to down dog. Inhale, right leg back up. Transition forward around the back. Place the foot front. Back foot goes to 45. Inhale, warrior one. And we're going to do a little bit of balancing poses in a minute. Hi, Gunny. So we're going to inhale, open the chest. Exhale, humble warrior. Hands come back. Lift up if you can. Feel free to use a belt if you need to. Gunny, I need you to move, buddy. Inhale, back up. Gunny, I need you to move. Thank you, bud. A little bit more. A little bit more, Gunny. Move. I know you're a movie star. I know you're pretty, but I need you to move. Gunny, go. Thank you. Stop. Gunny. Stay there. Stay. All right. So after humble warrior, which was this pose, inhale back up. Okay, we're gonna bring that back leg in. So we're going to lift it up and start to balance. Okay, so right here, we're just going to do a few movements here just to get to play with the balance a little bit. Knee to the side, bring it back in, and then maybe grab your ankle or your foot. Sorry, I'm cramping. Gotta come out. Don't you love it when the hamstring cramps up on you? All right, gotta get more water in. Note to self. All right, so grabbing that foot, you're gonna bring up your right arm, and then slowly start to tilt, lifting that leg back and up. All right, now I know that angle you may not be able to see, so again, I'm going to show it from a side angle. Make sure you've planted that foot really well. Grab your back foot or ankle, get your balance, lift up the opposite arm, slowly tilt from the hip, and lift that foot up. And then when you're ready, come back out. Okay, so that's dancer's pose. Now after you come back up, we land here. Let's see if we can take and cross that leg in front and see if we can sit down into a little squat. Okay. Sometimes my hips don't feel so good. A little crankier today. We're going to try it again. Okay, and come back out. Now, let's just inhale, upward salute. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Let's step back to our plank. And if you don't want to do your chaturanga, feel free to just go back to down dog. Chaturanga, up dog, down dog. We're going to step up with that left foot, warrior one. Okay, open up the chest, inhale, exhale, fold. Humble warrior, lift those arms up if you can. Inhale, back up. Lift the knee to the front. Balance. Open the knee to the side. Come back center. Slide the hand down to the ankle or the foot. Lift up the opposite arm. Get your balance. When you're ready, tilt forward. Dancer's pose. And again, if you need to see it from the side, and bring it back down when you're ready. Now, we're going to cross that leg over, squat it down. Back up when you're ready. All right. So let's go into a nice little yoga squat. Toes to the sides. Squat it down. Go as low as you can go. If you don't go this low, you can sit on a block. There's nothing wrong with sitting on a block. Okay, if you don't go even that low, just go where you can and find your way to the floor, however is easiest for you and safest for you, because safety is most important, okay guys? I don't want you hurt. I love doing this stuff with everybody, but safety's like my first thing, okay? All right, so we're gonna lower down, but since we're working things like thighs, We're still gonna throw in a couple abs because I feel like we really need it. I know I do. So let's first go into a plank position again. So we're gonna bring our feet back. So lift the hips up, walk the feet back to your plank. Okay. Hold the abs in nice and strong. All right, now let's take and pivot to one side and come into a side plank. Now, if you can't do the pivot, because there's several ways to do this. You can have one knee down and the top leg straight. Okay, that's a modified plank. You can do what I just did, which is just pivot to the side of the feet. Okay, I don't know if you can see that for the blanket. I'm gonna move that blanket. So one foot in front of the other. Or the hardest way is to actually stack the feet and hold. Okay? Kind of sliding, so I gotta come out of that. I should have brought my other mat out. Now, coming back to plank. Pivot to side plank, whichever version you want to do. Come back to center, lower the knees, and come into child's pose. Bring those hips back, forehead to the mat. Now that you've rested, bring your feet forward. Sit up nice and tall and come into some of your boat poses. So, variations. Hands behind the knees, lean back, lift the toes, pull the belly button in. Phase one. Phase two, hands behind, lift the feet. Another phase would be to hold that with the hands. Balance the hands. And then, of course, the hardest is to extend both legs and arms. It's up to you. Or you can just try one or the other. Come down, straighten the legs. Lift up, forward fold. Now this is really good for hamstrings. So if you can't reach your feet, you want to use that belt. So take your belt, wrap it around your feet in a comfortable spot, and just walk your hands down that belt until you get enough tension. Remember, we're hinging from the hip, not from the back. We're keeping the back as straight as possible. Now lift it back up. Anytime I do thighs, I also do hamstrings because they're opposing muscle groups. So we're going to take our right leg straight, bend the left leg in, and you can have this leg any way you want it. I'm just going to kind of bring it in a half butterfly position to the foot to the inside of the thigh, come down to the straight leg. And again, if you can't reach, use the belt. Walk it back in, and then let's take and switch sides. And there's different variations to this as to how you put this other leg. Notice if there's a difference on one side or the other. I find I'm tighter on one side than the other. walk it back in. All right, so here's another thing I want you to try sometime, either today or some other time. We're gonna go into straddle position. So, feet are flexed right now. This is gonna hit our hamstrings because our feet are flexed and we're hinging from the hip coming forward, all right? Start here, you're gonna feel this in the inner thigh, also in the hamstring. Some people will even feel it in their lower back if they're really tight there. Walk it back in. Now, let's come to one of the straight legs and come back down. Now, when you're doing this position, really push down on that opposite hip toward the floor. Walk it back in, switch sides. And then walk it back in. Now, this is what I want you to try. Point the toes like a ballerina. We're going to repeat these stretches. Notice you're going to feel it more in the front of your leg than the back side of your leg now. You're still going to feel it in the inner thigh because all of it is tied together. You can always lower your elbows if you need more tension, especially if you feel a release of the muscle. Walk it back in. Okay, coming down toward the right leg first. Trying to bring that nose toward the knee, trying to keep this other hip down. Lift up, switch sides. Bring it back in. All right, so notice if you felt a difference. Bring it back to flex. Now we're gonna bring our feet in and just open up the hips a little bit. Again, I like to stretch all the surrounding areas when working with legs. This is more of an inner thigh stretch, which I need a lot of. Feet together. Open the feet, sort of like a book, bringing the back side of your feet together, but opening the front side of your feet as if you're reading the pages of a book. Now, lift the chest once you feel like you've relaxed your legs. Fold over, bringing the head toward the feet. Extending the arms as far as you can reach. And then just let the body kind of get heavy here for a second. Slowly walk it back in. Bring the knees back together. Straighten the legs. Okay, we're gonna swing our knees around so that we're on our stomach next before we go to the back, okay? Swing the legs around. Come into the belly. Make sure that everything is comfortable. Some people like a blanket under their hips. If you've got hip bones that kind of protrude a little bit, it's good to stick that blanket under the hips for cushion. Okay, Bo, it's fine. Bo, hush. So, take your belt, do your D-ring hook, for those of you that can't reach your feet. Bo, hush. And in case you didn't see me do that on another film, I'm going to show you again how that works. You're taking your D-rings. Okay, you're splitting them open. Okay, first go through both of them. So going through both first. Take the end of the belt and then take and split them open and place it through the center of them. Pull it through to tighten, and then you've got a loop at the end of your belt. Okay, you can take that loop back to the foot, loop it around the foot, and bring it over your shoulder. Make sure you don't hurt your shoulder, and this will help you lift that leg up off the mat. Make sure you support with the opposite hand. Now, if you need that belt, use it. If you don't, you're gonna reach back, grab the foot, push the foot against hand, push the hips into the floor, lift the leg up off the mat if you can. Lower it back down. We're going to switch sides. So other foot or belt around the ankle or the foot. Lift up. And lower it back down. All right, let's push back to child's pose, nice and slow. Build the body up, lift the hips, pull them back, forehead to mat. Lift back up. All right, we're gonna go to the back, so I'm gonna go side view on this. Use a blanket or an extra mat, or just turn your mat if you're at home. Lower down, either using your legs or using your abs to lower. Extend out both directions. Lower the arms back down and take the feet to the mat. And lift up to your first bridge, pushing through, bringing the hips up, pushing through the feet, bringing the back with the shoulder blades toward each other. Lower it back down, flatten the back, and then let's just take our arms to the side. We're gonna bring our legs up. You can go straight leg to the side, or you can bend your legs and go to the side, whichever works. Bring it back. And if you're doing bent legs, it looks like this. Knees are bent. Roll the knees to the side. Look away from the knees or the legs. back up. Legs back up if you don't already have them there. And then we're gonna take and we're gonna bring our right leg down, bring our left leg across. Open the hip a little bit. Hands go back down next to your sides. Lift up into a one-legged bridge. Lower the back down to the mat. Reach through one leg, around the back side of that base leg. Pull that knee in toward the chest. This is one of my favorite stretches because I need it a lot. It's all those areas that get tight, like the IT band, the psoas, everything. Let's lower that back down. And then we're going to switch to the other side. Open the hip where we can. Hands next to sides. Lift the hips up high. Lower it back down. Reach through. Grab the back side. Bind the hands behind the leg. Pull it in. Release, lower that back down. Let's take and widen the feet really wide on the mat. We're going to lower the knees to one side. Really push that top knee toward the floor or the mat. Come back center. Exhale, bring the knees the opposite way. Again, bringing the top knee down toward the floor a little bit more. Get a good stretch in that hip flexor. Come back center. All right, so we're going to roll to the side. And what I'd like to do is do one more stretch. This one's a little more intense. That's why I waited till last to show you this one. I want you to make sure you have plenty of things to lay on or sit on. If you have a bolster, use it. If you have lots of blankets or pillows, you can use those as well. So basically, you're going to take a block and you're going to sit on that block with the legs on each side of it. I'm going to show you some variations. So one variation is to have one leg on one side, one on the other. Feet are flat. You're just going to bring your bottom down until you sit on that block. You may have to adjust it. Okay, once you're sitting on the block, you're going to start feeling a pull in the thigh. If you don't, that means that you're pretty flexible. You're going to need to lean further back. So start to walk your hands back until you feel tension in the thighs, okay? Now this is kind of hard on the knees, so those of you that have really bad knees, you might need more padding up behind the knees. So maybe take some towels or a blanket and give yourself more padding, maybe a little more cushion. You want to kind of flat fold the blanket. But what you're going to do is sit up, place that blanket to where you tuck it kind of under your knees. And again, if you need to readjust everything, feel free. And then kind of sit with that blanket behind your knees to give you a little cushion and keep your knees from bending so much. A bolster, you can actually sit on it and then you can actually prop it up to an incline if you'd like, or you can lay back on it, depending on how your knees feel. All right, and again, if you want more, lean back. And then I'm going to show you those that have really flexible knees. They don't have that much issue with them. My issues with my knees have been mainly the beginnings of arthritis as I'm aging, but I can still do this pose without hurting myself. You're basically going to go into a hero's pose. So you're going to sit in between your feet. Okay? Then you're going to walk yourself back where you can. Some people will go here. Some will come down to elbows. And some can lay flat, but not everybody can lay flat. So don't do this if you know that this is not going to work for you. It's going to hurt you. If you got a little kid at home, super flexible, they'll love this position because they'll be able to do it. Most adults can't. So let them have fun with it if you want to do that. My neighbor was doing yoga with her daughter and son out in the yard across the street. Not knowing what the pose names were, but it was awesome. I just loved it. They were having the best time. So anyhow, it's time for Savasana, everybody. If you want to do one more stretch, I suggest going back to a seated forward fold as your counter pose to your hero's stretch. And then after that, you're going to lay down, find a comfortable position, and get ready for Savasana. Let your body kind of relax, open up. Close your eyes. Since we can't really travel right now, let's all find our favorite vacation spot. You should see all the shapes, all the colors there. Now slowly start to add in the sounds you hear there. And then add in the pleasant scents that are in the air. And lastly, place yourself in that space. Feel like you're there. Feel like you could reach out and touch all those beautiful things around you. And then start to go inward. Start to remember how it makes you feel. Feel the peace, the joy, the relaxing. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, let everything else go. And just be in that space, in that time. Slowly start to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, maybe rotate the wrist and the ankles. Rotate back the other way. Find a stretch that feels good to you, maybe a recline twist. Maybe elongate, whatever feels good. If you're doing a recline twist, make sure you do both sides. when you're ready, bring your feet in, rock your knees side to side a few times. Just kind of make sure the back's feeling good. And when you're ready, roll to your side. Remember, if you need a longer Savasana, please feel free to take it. Take a few deep breaths here. Just kind of checking your breathing. Make sure there's no rough edges to your breath. Making it smooth and flowing. Take your hands, push into the floor to bring yourself back up. Find a comfortable position on your mat, sitting nice and tall. Take a couple of breaths, just kind of check your body out. Notice how you're feeling, both mentally and physically. Hopefully this little session lifted your spirits, made you feel a little bit better physically. Inhale, bring your hands up. Place the thumbs on the third eye. Just remembering that dedication or that intention you set at the beginning of your practice, not judging yourself or others. Just knowing everything in life is a learning lesson. Exhale the thumbs to heart center. And as always, I wish you peace, love, and happiness. And the light within me is just like the light within you. And I honor that. Namaste. And release. And I thank you for joining me today. Please feel free to contact me. We're hearing that May 18th is a reopen possibility with the state. I am still sewing my yoga bags. If you're interested in those, please feel free to contact me. Message me through Facebook or Instagram. Most of my stuff is either through my full name or through Yoga Path, so you can find normally a way to reach me at either of those things. I'm starting to learn how to make the mask. If anybody wants the mask, if you buy a bag, I will be glad to throw in a mask with that as well, especially if you do the double printed ones. Those are a little bit more. I think the masks are going to cost me maybe $5 to make if you just want a mask. All right, so everybody take care. I hope to see you soon, and if I don't, well, hopefully I'll find a new way to share my love of yoga with you. So have a great day.